Good evening, everybody. This is Joyce from Beau Creations. How is everybody doing today? Yay, Tilda said she found me. Hello, Tilda Hannah. I haven't heard from you in a minute, my friend. How are you? All right, everybody. I hope that I have done this well. I'm flying solo tonight because Jennifer, my Obi-Wan Kenobi, is letting me do this by myself tonight. So, Jennifer, I hope I make you proud. All right, I found you. Yay! Fabulous Cards is here. Hello. Oh my gosh. Doth my eyes deceive me? TJ is here tonight. Well, hello, TJ. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so tonight I have, well, first of all, if someone can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Hi, Joyce, so you guys can all hear me. Alana Paper Creations is here. Hello. All right. TJ says smarty pants. All right, everybody. So hi, Christy. Good to see you again. Okay, so I want everybody to take out a pen and pencil or grab your trimmer, scoreboard, and a piece of 12 by 12 paper. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much, because tonight we are making the most adorable one sheet wonder folio. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Good. Welcome. Now, listen, guys, I got a few housekeeping things to tell you. First of all, if hold that thought. Oh, let me run over here. Okay, there we go. Okay. So first of all, the little housekeeping that we need to talk about right now is, man, oh man, are we in fuego. Can I just say that today is the 24th of February, and not only do we have the March calendar out. Oh, hi, Jennifer. I just told them my Obi-Wan Kenobi is letting me fly solo tonight. So she says no. No? Why? What am I doing wrong? Already. I haven't even started tonight and I'm ready and I'm wrong. What's up? Can you hear me? Can you see me? She says yes. Okay. Okay. So she's just watching and waiting in the wings in case I need something. Right? Yes. Okay. So I just want you all to know how in fuego we are. Not only do we have March calendars out, but guess what? April too. Woohoo! Some good things going on. I just want to let you know. First and foremost, Stamp and Scrapbook Expo is coming up this month in March. So I'm really excited about that. We have our stamp camp. We have card classes. We have sublimation. We have resin art. Oh my gosh, lots of good things going on in March. And then in April, we have our new PhD crop and our coffee, donuts, and cards happening. So Jennifer will be getting this all put up online for you guys pretty soon. So just know that the schedule is out for March and April. I'm so excited about this. Okay. For those of you that know how vexed I am with the schedule, to know that it has all of this that's out for 2 months, and May will be out soon. So, just letting you know that we're doing it here. Okay. Big thing happening, our 6th anniversary retreat in person. It is at the Fairfield Marriott Inn over here at UCF. They've given us a special discount for the rooms. It is time to celebrate our 6th anniversary. You are going to want to be there. If you attended any of our other anniversary crops, you know that we go all out. And this year's theme is vintage travel. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey, right? Those of you that have been with us for 6 years, you know what we're talking about. Those of you that join us, welcome. We're going to be, that's okay, Jen. I'd rather you fix the ticker banner than my ticker be off. Okay. So don't forget to put your hashtag BeauQ down there. I think that's what Jennifer was fixing. So the hashtag BeauQ so that you guys can be entered into the prize drawing, which I'm hoping I'm going to get right tonight. So a lot of firsts tonight, guys, just letting you know. So anyway, you're going to want to check out our schedule for the month of March and April. It is now ready, and it'll be up on the website shortly. Okay, so let me get back to my screen here so I can get the right screen. Hold on. That's the one thing that I'm not sure about. Okay, there we go. I actually might just leave this like this so that you guys can see me and whatever else is going on. All right, there we go. I'm just going to put it live and then you can see my hands and my face. Jen says I didn't realize it. It's a good thing you weren't like picking your nose or anything, you know, like scratch, you know. Anyway, okay. So tonight, if you have a trimmer and a scoreboard and you want to do this with us tonight, you can. This is the cutest little folio thing that I think I have made yet. It just wraps up like that. And then you open it and check this out. You have a pocket. You have a place to put a picture or a notepad. And then it opens into a cute little double pocket. How cute is this? Now, what could you do with this? Well, I could put it in my purse. First of all, with my notepads or whatever I wanted to, I could stick it in my purse. I could glue it into a journal. I could stick it in the pocket of a journal, or it can be several of these put together. And that's true. When Jennifer says, you never know what you're going to get when BeauQ Live, especially when you're letting Joyce fly solo tonight. All right. So this whole folio is made from one sheet of 12 by 12. And of course, I'm using the beautiful, fabulous Cherished Chapters collection from BeauQ Creations. So in case anybody wants to know what I'm wearing on the red carpet tonight, it is the Cherished Chapters collection from BeauQ Creations. And you heard it first. Our new Softly Spring collection will be out shortly. It's at the printer. So I'm really excited about that. All right. So let's get busy with our one sheet folio and embellishments for the evening. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it. Okay. So hi, Ann Hassan. How are you? So while those of you that want to craft with us, go ahead and grab your stuff. You need a trimmer, a scoreboard, and a 12 by 12 piece paper. If you're not crafting with us, you're going to need a paper and pencil to write down what we're doing. Okay. All right. So I think I should probably show you the, I'll show you the template first, I think, because that'll make it a little easier. So that you kind of understand where I'm going with this. All right. See these three pieces here? So these, oh, let me back out just a little bit on that camera so you guys can see. There we go. All right. So I will read you the measurements and make sure that you guys have all the measurements, but you see that it was a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I just wanted to let you know that we are creating this from one sheet of paper. And of course, a double-sided collection works really, really well. So if you're not using BeauQ's Cherished Chapters, you should be. All right. So I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I've got this piece of the BeauQ with the Cherished Chapters with the burlap design on the back, and this one on the front. So first thing that you are going to do is you are going to cut said 12 by 12 into 6 by 12. So that's half for you and I. Okay. So I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, there we go. So now I've got two pieces, 6 by 12 and 6 by 12. Okay, I'm going to reserve one of these. And I think since this one has such a pretty stack of books, I think I'm going to make this my piece and have that on the side. So that piece is going to be my front piece. Then you're going to take one of the pieces, one of the 12 by 6, and you're going to cut this down to 10 by 6. Okay. So remember, I told you I'm going to make this with one piece of paper. So I'm going to cut this piece down to 10 by 6. Shook, just like that. And now you have all of the pieces. See? We have our 12 by 6 piece right here. We have our 10 by 6 piece right here. And then the other 2 inches right here. So see, we just created that out of one piece of paper. So if you're following me, go ahead and cut that. All right. So 12 by 6, 10 by 6, 2 by 6. So one sheet of paper. All right. How's everybody doing so far? That's not too hard, right? It's not so hard. All right, now we're going to start with, oops, that's upside down. Sorry, guys. The 12 by 6. All right. I'm going to grab my scoreboard. Okay, and I'm going to grab my 12 by 6. Well, hi, Sharon. How are you? Good evening. Okay, so my 12 by 6 piece of paper, we're going to score this, okay? And I'm going to read out the measurements to you, but I want you guys to see that I'm going to score it, okay? So you're going to score it at half. You're going to score it at 4.5, and then you're going to score at 8.5, okay? So if you are writing that down, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can write those measurements down. I got a new toy, Jen. Got a little zoomer, a little clicker. All right. So you're going to take your 12 by 6 and you're going to score it at half, 4.5, and 8.5. It's very important that you cut this piece down first. Don't just think, oh, I'll just cut, score the whole sheet, because it won't work. All right. So scoring at 1/2 inch, 4.5 inches, and then 8.5 inches. Wee-haw, look at that. And of course, this beau Cherished Chapters paper is super thick, which makes it good for our folios. So 1/2 inch, 4.5 inches, and 8.5 inches. Everybody got that? If you need another second, let me know. By the way, I did get my nails done today. They're nice and St. Patrick's-y. Yeah. To match our, I'm just going to turn the camera. Oops, no, I'm not. Never mind. I'm not going to touch the camera. Maybe I'll touch that camera. See our St. Patrick's Day tree? Doesn't it look pretty? All right. So that's the first piece. So we've got this scored, and we're going to set it aside. Then we're going to grab our 10-inch piece. Okay, there's our 10-inch piece. And the 10-inch piece, we're going to score it at 3.5 and 7.5. This is why I said don't score the whole sheet. Okay, 3.5 and 7.5. You're going to want to cut that first so that you have your score marks in the right place. Well, thank you, Terry. All right. So I'm going to score my 10 by 6 piece at 3.5 and 7.5. Okay, and it's nice and thick paper, so I'm kind of making sure that I've scored it. All right. That means that you are going to end up with a smaller panel over here, okay? We can put away our scoreboard because that's all the scoring that we're going to do for right now. So there's our 10 by 6 piece, scored at 3.5 and 7.5. Just going to give you guys a moment to process all of this, okay? So we now have our scored 12 by 6 piece, our 10 by 6 piece, and then we have this little doodad right here. And that makes our entire 12 by 12 piece of paper. I'm going to back out just a little bit. There we go. All right. We're going to start with the 12 by 12, the 12 by 6 piece first. You're going to need your bone folder for this, okay? I can't tell if y'all are with me. Am I going too fast, or are we at a good pace? Because I want to make sure I don't lose you. That's what I want to make sure. So, okay. So we have this 1/2-inch strip right here. Okay. So I'm going to take our fabulous Beau Creations 1/2-inch super sticky tape. Should just be called super sticky. And I am going to, let me see how I want to do this. So this little 1/2-inch strip right here is going to end up being the flap right here. Let me show you in the folio so you can kind of understand where we're going. All right. So because I do not have writing in this one is not going to matter which way I do it, because normally, this would be upside down. But because it's not going to matter with this particular sheet, I don't think I'm going to worry about it necessarily, which side that's on. But I do know that I want this side, the double-sided paper. So I think I'm going to put the tape on this side. Really, it doesn't matter unless you're using a double-sided piece like I am right here. And I want it to be, like slightly different. I mean, I could put the same piece right there and make the flap fold, but I think I'm going to do the burlap side. And the other thing you want to double check is that this piece, because sometimes they are, hi, Irene, how are you feeling? That's okay. You can be late. Thank you for having us on your channel last night. That was so much fun. If your paper is slightly off, as it looks like mine is, sometimes, the printer, the machine that cuts it, it'll be a little bit off. Look at that, like maybe a hair width of an inch. So just go ahead and cut that off because it is going to matter. Miss Eva's here. Hello, Eva. Okay. So I'm still have my 1/2 inch here, and I'm going to put a piece of our fabulous Beau sticky tape on here. And this is 1/2 inch tape. So on that strip that we scored for 1/2 inch, that's where you're going to put your sticky tape. Now, just in case you're wondering, does it matter which way I put it? Well, of course it does, because it matters if you want to see the back side pattern or you want to see the front side of the pattern. So that's going to be strictly on you, you guys. That is solely up to you how you want it to be. Okay? All right. Yes, thank you, Laura. Hi, Irene at Artemis Made 1. Yes. Okay. Welcome, welcome. I was on her channel last night, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. Okay, so there's my little 1/2 inch, and I'm just burnishing this fold here because this is super thick paper. Irene, I'm using your favorite paper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and burnish all my folds on this particular sheet just because it's going to make it easier for me when I go to put this together. So for those of you that are following along, go ahead and burnish your paper both directions. You want to make sure that your super thick Beau Cherished Chapters cardstock. That's all right, Marina. I'll let you come in late. Seems like that's the theme today. It's really cold here in Florida, guys. So, you know. Okay, now this piece right here, you are going to need your corner rounder if you want to corner round it. So because this is going to be my front panel and I want this side to be on the outside, I'm going to have to corner round this piece and this piece, and you'll see why momentarily. See how that's now going to become my flap? And then I'm going to distress the edges a little bit because I want to make sure that my white core does not show. So I'm going to grab my ink blender, and I guess I'll just use this one. There we go. Look, guys, we have colored handles. And they say Beau on them, just so you know. You know those little Velcro dots? I keep one on the bottom of my distress ink, and I put my little pad on there. So I always have my pad at the ready for my little dauber there. All I got to do is just pull it off of there. No container necessary. All you got to do is just pull it out of the ink bottom there and then just distress your piece. There you go. Just quickly running some ink over that so that it doesn't. Irene, I'm not going to get this done in 15 minutes. Not going to happen. So please don't start the timer on me, okay? Not going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Beau Pokey tool because my brand new St. Patty's Day nails are not going to get messed up. All right, I'm going to bring my sticky tape adhesive sheet down just a little bit. I'm not going to pull it all the way off. I'm going to put that infamous tail right there. Could you please tell the dimensions of the paper and where you put the scores? Absolutely, Kit Kat. Okay, so you're taking a 12 by 12. You're going to cut it in half at 12 by 6. Then you're going to take 1/2 of that paper and cut it into 10 by 6. Okay, so you got your 10 by 6 and you got your 12 by 6. All right, there we go. Let me get this back out here. Just for those of you that are late, we'll show you this. So on the 12 by 6, you're going to score it 1/2 inch, 4.5 inch, and 8.5. All right, and then the 10 by 6 piece that you're going to cut, you're scoring at 3.5 and 7.5, and then you're going to be right where we are. Okay, so 12 by 6, 10 by 6, 1/2, 4.5, 8.5. On the 10 by 6, you're going at 3.5 and 7.5. All right, Kit Kat, and then you'll be right up to where I am right now, which is this on the 12 by 6 piece. Okay, thank you, Tilda. All right, I'm going to make this little infamous tail right here. This is my favorite way to do things. Now, there is 2 ways. You could fold this such as so, and then lay this on like this. Sorry, like that. Or you can do it this way. This is my favorite way to do things. My favorite way to put the tape on. I bring myself a little tail, okay, just like that, and I fold it over because it makes sense to me that if the whole thing is not sticky, I can't accidentally get my, can you tell us about adding the little strip again? Sorry, Laura, which one? This 2 by 6? This is the piece that came off I'm sorry, Laura, your question's not very clear. I'm not getting it. What are you asking me for? I wish I could like talk to you right now. You could tell me. She's like, I'm trying to tell you. So I make myself a little tail right here, and then I line this up right along the edge of the score line. And then when I stick it down like that, only that top part that was exposed is showing the adhesive. And then I can just hold this in place and pull off my adhesive. And now that 1/2 inch strip is hooked onto my piece. See that? There we go. All right. Now we could fold this way. It doesn't matter at this point. It is not a big deal. I do too. That's exactly why I do that. Yes. Corner rounder to the edge of the corners that you're not sticking down to your paper. Yes. Thank you all so much for filling in the blanks. Okay. So now you see that I have the 12 by 6 piece of paper, and I've added that little strip that came off the 10 by 6 piece. Okay. So we're going to just set that up here for a minute. And then I'm going to bring in my 10 by 6. All right. This is the 10 by 6. Let me move this kind of out of the way a little bit. Here's my 10 by 6 piece. Now remember that we scored this at 3.5. Yes, we scored this at 3.5 and 7.5. And that leaves us on this end with this smaller flap here. This is like maybe 2.5 inches. Yes, 2.5 inches. And I'm going to grab my little circle punch, and it doesn't matter what size you use. I am using 1 3/4 because that's what I grabbed. And so this little 2.5 inch piece right here, I'm going to just notch out for my pocket this little piece. And you're going to want to save this because we use every single piece that comes off of this 12 by 12 paper. Isn't that cool? So while you guys are catching up, I'm going to distress the edge of my paper here. Okay. So if you are still cutting, corner rounding, whatever, I'm just throwing some ink on the edge here, legitimately not caring really that much. I just don't like white edges. And so therefore I tend to distress the edge of everything because I am not a fan of white edges. But fortunately for this beautiful Cherished Chapters paper, which by the way is available at Beau Creations, lends itself very, very well to a vintage photo distress. So I am just throwing that ink on there, and then we are going to be ready to go momentarily. So how's everybody doing? Are we good? They're like, I can't tell you if we're good, Joyce, because I'm trying to cut. I'm trying to make sure that I have everything done so that I don't lose you. So I'm just literally throwing some ink on the cardstock here, just because I think it looks pretty without the white edges. And the colors of this Cherished Chapters paper just really looks good with a little bit of distress on it. And I'm even going to distress this little piece right here because we're going to use it. I'm not sure which side, so I'm just going to distress them both. How's that? Okay. Don't forget to put your BeauQ live, hashtag BeauQ live, so that we can give away a prize at the end. Okay. Everybody good? Sharon wants to know, am I going to be at the expo? Yes, I am, Sharon. I have been invited to guest star at the Elizabeth Craft Designs demo booth. So I will be there in an unofficial BeauQ capacity. I will be there as a representative of Elizabeth Craft Designs. I will be doing their make and take. So please stop by and see us. I would love that. Okay. Now just hear me out for a second before you start cutting or trimming or doing anything. I want to show you guys what I'm going to do. Okay. If you lay your paper one on top of the other, you should see these two score lines line up with these two score lines if your 1/2 inch is over here. Okay. So do you see how I've got mine lined up? This is important. Okay. This is going to make it easier for us to cut the pockets together. So I want you to make sure that you have this. Here's your 1/2 inch strip that, the 1/2 inch that we scored. There's the panel that we put on there. And here's our notched out piece. You're going to want to make sure that these two score lines line up with the two score lines on the 12x6. All right. Because we are going to flip this piece over. All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just going to remove this so you guys can see what I'm doing. We're going to flip this piece over, and this is going to become our pocket. So I'm going to take our 1/4 inch super sticky tape or your glue, whichever one you want to use. And I am going to create my little pocket here, and you'll see, let me get myself coordinated, and let me show you how you can make this pocket out of this, okay? So you are not going to tape up here, just on these 3 sides. And remember, you can go back and watch this video again, but if you have a question, you can certainly ask us now. All right. So I still have these two lined up, these two sides lined up. Okay, there we go. Now, do you see where I've put the tape? I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Sharon will be there also. Woohoo! Okay, bringing my 12x6 panel back in, I'm going to line these score lines, both of them up here and here. All right, so now that puts all of the score lines lined up with each other. Okay, this is the easiest way that I can explain this. I'm going to take my pokey tool and I'm just going to remove the adhesive sheet here, just like this, taking off all of my release sheets off my super sticky tape. By the way, BoQ has 3/8 inch, 1/8 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch, as well as sheets in this double sticky tape. So if you are needing some of that, you can either add to cart tonight on the live, or you can go to beauqcreations.com and place an order. So you should feel that the score lines kind of lock into each other as you slide it across the paper. When you feel that, you know that they are lined up, and you're just going to fold that exposed piece of adhesive over. And if it gets, it's not out of whack, it's my paper that's out of whack. Okay, so I can trim that down, no big deal. Okay, so I'm just going to actually trim that off when I bring my trimmer back in, because remember, not all paper is created equal, and sometimes it will slip. But don't cut too much. You want to make sure that we have that edge nice and straight, Just going to cut that off. I'll probably do that with my scissors if there's a little piece left. And this one was not quite at 6 inches when I cut it, or it was a little less than 6 inches. Sometimes the paper is not exactly square, guys, and that's okay, All right, so bringing our trimmer in, that's what I was going to show you guys. So if you're looking at my example, this is the flap that we scored, and they both are the same. You see how they're layered on top of one another at this point? Want me to wear my advertising shirt? Of course, Sharon. Any event that BoQ is at, if you're sporting your shirt, there's a possibility that you're going to get spotted by one of our spotters. We have them at every event, and they are armed and ready with a $25 BoQ Creations gift card just for wearing the shirt, you guys. Like, of course, I would want you to wear your shirt. All right. those of you that didn't know that, yes, we have spotters at every show, and we tend to give out gift cards for people who are wearing our shirts. So if you didn't know, now you do. All right, so here is that flap. So yours should look like this. We want them layered one on top of the other so that way we can get that pocket cut perfectly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up making my triangle here for my pockets. Now, guys, I wanted to let you know, this was the hardest part for me when I learned how to craft, was how to make a diagonal cut on my trimmer. Then I was watching, hi, Gloria, how are you? I was watching a lady on YouTube, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what her name was, but she so eloquently explained how to do this. And that is even a diagonal line, if you're cutting it on some paper, even a triangle or a diagonal line is still a straight line. The only difference is that you're turning the paper from straight to an angle. Okay, so this line still remains straight. It's the angle that changes on the paper. So here's what I want you to do. This little score mark right here and the edge of this paper, I want you to line up in the straight line of your trimmer. Do you see that? Don't look at this part. Look at the score line in your track and your trimmer and the corner. And guess what? That is still a straight line. Just because the paper is slightly ajar doesn't mean it's not still a straight line. So once you get those two lined up, I want you to pull them back simultaneously to either a 1/4 inch. I'm going to use a 1/4 of an inch. Just pull it straight back down to, 1/2 inch, the 1/2 inch mark. Okay. And then you're going to put your trimmer down and you're going to slice both of those pieces at the same time. Okay, hold on to those. And now you have two pieces that are cut at exactly the same angle. See that? So you don't want it right down to the corner. You don't want it from corner to corner. You want to slide that down just a little bit to the 1/2 inch mark on your trimmer and slice that off. Hi, Linda. Okay, so we all good so far? Now check this part out. When you fold this over, pocket number 1, and then you flip this over, you get pocket number 2. Or you can open it up and flip them to the inside. So you could have a pocket over here and then have a page and then have another pocket. Or you could fold them in and you have 2 pockets on the inside. That is strictly up to you. You do you, boo. Okay? All right. Remember, that's a straight line regardless of whether it is at an angle or not. It's only the paper that you're turning at an angle. That was probably the best piece of advice I got, especially if I'm trying to make gatefold or, you know, something of that nature. All right. I'm going to open mine up and make my pockets go to the inside. And you know, ladies love their pockets. I know, I got pockets in my aprons right now. And I'm just going to burnish that line, that fold down. Okay. And I'm going to come back to my beau 1/4 inch tape. And I'm going to tape right here. Let me get my hand through here the right way. I'm going to tape right here. And from the score mark to the tape, just like that, that's pocket number 1. And on the other pocket, same thing. I'm going to put my tape here and my piece of tape here, right to the score line. And there you go. All right, tape here and tape here. There we go. And I'm going to remove my release sheet. Now, could you use glue? Absolutely. But I say, why use glue when you can use this perfect tape? Okay, so there is my pretty, pretty pocket right there. Okay. Ta-da! There's one pocket. And I'm going to go to the inside and make the other pocket. Ta-da! I'm just going to line that up right there. Burnish that down with my bone folder because this paper is super thick. So you want to make sure you reinforce those folds. And just like that, you now have created a pocket here, a sheet here, pocket here, and it folds up like so. Okay. I'm going to make sure that mine folds over the right way. There we go. Now, this paper is super, super thick. So do not stress about it if it buckles. All you're going to do is just go here and just use your bone folder. And now you have your folio flap. You've got upside down pocket. Let me turn it the right way. Pocket here, pocket here. Now, check this out. If you are using every little piece, guess what you can do? You can then take these pieces and put some glue or tape and use them for your second set of pockets. That's why I said every piece is going to be used in this making of this journal. Okay, so I've got my piece of tape here. And my piece of tape here. Get back up there, you little tool. Just trying to fall on the floor. All right, there we go. There's pocket number one. And I need to make sure I have the triangle the correct way because I don't want to put tape on the wrong side. There we go. All right. Look at this, guys. Always burnish your tape down. That way you don't get air bubbles because air bubbles equal looseness. All right, so here we go. One adhesive strip off, other adhesive strip off. And just like this, we are going to put this and make an additional pocket. Just like that. And same here. What do you think so far, huh? You've heard of 6x6 cards. How large pack of the paper is this? The price, please. Okay, Sharon, this is Cherished Chapters. It is $24.99. It is a 12x12 pack of paper. And there are 12 sheets, 12 designs. So they're front and back, 12 designs on the front, 12 designs on the back. And it does have 2 cut apart sheets in it as well. So look at that, guys. You've got your beautiful Cherished Chapters paper on this side with a pocket. You open it up. You've got 2 other pockets here and here. You close it up. And now you've got this adorable little folio. How is that? So I am just going to take my tool here and just reinforce this because it is very super thick paper and we are asking a lot of that paper. Now the fun part becomes embellishing this bad boy. Okay, so that's the fun that I'm going to have tonight. And I'm so excited about this because I told you that we want to use every single piece of. Sharon says, cart, please. Yes, ma'am. So we want to make sure that we use this. Now, I have this amazing little closure thing. Could you use Velcro? Yes, absolutely. Velcro dot will hold it together just fine. But here at beau, you know, we can't do just regular Velcro closures. No way. We have to have our magnetic super snaps, and that's what these are. These are our super snaps. So check this out. They come with 2 silver reinforcement discs, and it's similar to a brad. And I'm going to show you how it works. I've got this amazing little punch here, and I'm just going to kind of line this up where I think it might be. Of course, this is a little bit of rough justice, you guys. You know, I'm not trying to do anything fabulous here. I'm just wanting to make sure that I get this all, because I could push this down with my, what you call it there, my brad setter, but I think it's a lot easier to use this little punch. And then what I do is I take this one and I just line up where I want my little half moon to be. Now, certainly you could use Velcro, and I say go for it if that's easier. But, you know, I can't be like that. I got to be super fancy. So I'm going to go ahead and put a hole right through my piece here. And I just marked it to make sure that, okay, piece of paper. Thank you very much. I'm just going to mark it to make sure that I have it in the right spot. There we go. Okay. Punch. And it loves my thick paper. There we go. All right, now watch how these super snaps work, guys. This is absolutely the most easiest thing you've ever seen in your life. All right, so these are very similar to brads, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my reinforcement discs underneath or on top of the brad, okay? So there's my super snap. And this is going to be the part that snaps onto my folio. You know what I just thought about? I should have snapped that through there, but that's okay. We'll use that piece instead. Okay. So then you take the second disc here and you put this down like so. And then the snaps just fold like that. Okay. Just like that. All right. Now that leaves you a little snap like this. Now you have to apply the other piece that's going to be the part that's it's going to close to. Now, because I normally would do this ahead of time before I folded this, I absolutely cannot punch that now because that's too thick. So I'm going to use this little guy as my reinforcement. Where did my little metal disc go? Oh, it picked it up on the snap or something. Where did it go? See, that's how this operates, you guys. The little silver thing just disappeared. That's how that happens. Let me grab another one out of the box because I'm sure it fell on the floor somewhere. So this is a reinforcement disc. So again, it's going to go on our little piece here. Let me make sure that I can see. Do a little bit of planning here. All right, so do I want that there or like that? I think I'm gonna do it like that. So that's gonna be my top piece. So I'm going to stick the snap part through there. Whoopsie, get back in there. The snap part through there. And then I'm gonna take that reinforcement disc because this helps to keep it from tearing out of the paper, okay? And then you just fold those little legs down like you would if it was a brad. See that? And then we are going to glue it to our snap, our paper snap. Let's just put it there. See how easy that is? It just clicks onto there. And now we're going to put some, I use Beacon 3-in-1 glue for this. And I just got a brand new bottle. I like to use heavy duty glue for my pieces when I'm doing stuff like mixed media. I love to use the Beacon 3-in-1, and I do carry that in the store just for being able to hold this down while it's gluing. I'm just going to put a hunk of tape on there just to make sure it kind of stays in place while it is setting with the glue. Okay. So we're just going to stick that sticky tape down. Why am I trying to do that on top of a magnet? I don't know. There we go. Now that tape is just going to hold it in place while the beacons glue is doing its job. Okay. So I'm just going to put that glue on there. I'm going to be ever so generous across that tape. I'm going to stick this onto here because I want it to be in the correct place when I put the closure. There we go. And then that way it kind of lets me know where I need to have it. There we are. And I'm just pushing that down to make sure that it stays in place. So there you go. So now that glue, that 3-in-1 is going to hold that in place. And you want to give that a little bit of time to dry. This is one of those things that you don't want to rush. Okay, make sure that you get that nice and burnished down. Could you use Velcro? Absolutely, you could use Velcro. But you know what? I kind of like the fact that it snaps. See that? That's why you don't want to do that. Let it do its job and get nice and sticky, okay? Stick to that. All right, now while we're waiting on that, I am going to cover this little guy. I have the prettiest little metal, it looks like a fan. And I thought, you know what? That would be really super cute if I took this metal fan, or I don't know, maybe put a pretty disc on it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I'm going to use this instead of the fan. I really, really do. I think that's going to be really pretty. And that's just going to be my embellishment that covers that thing there. Okay. So I still feel like I need to burnish this a little bit more. It is really super thick paper. Okay. So I'm going to put this gorgeous little gem piece right here. I could also put a foam dot in there because it's kind of unlevel. I think I might do that. Just because it's a little bit unlevel and I don't want it rocking back and forth. So I'm going to stick a little foam dot inside of there. How are we doing on time? I don't even know. What time is it getting to be? 52 minutes. So it's not even been an hour. Okay. We will draw our prize in just a minute. Okay, there we go. And that just helps that stick a little bit better while the glue is sticking down. And I'm gonna, you'll see as I stick it to my finger. And that is going to cover that piece very nicely. Get the adhesive off my fingers so that we can. I'm just going to hold that down for a second while that glue sets. And that covers my snap so pretty. Look at that, guys. See, that covers that snap. Isn't that gorgeous? So there I have, let me turn it the right way. I have my pockets, one pocket here, one pocket here. While that's drying, I do have a couple of like little tickets that I have here in my stash. How cute are these? I could use my beau library cards if I want. Look at that. I just want to show you that these are functioning pockets. Look at that. Put your little stuff in there, all your little ephemera. How cute would that be to take and fill this up and send it to somebody as a prize? I think that would be kind of fun, don't you? I've got a couple of little tickets that I can stick in here, just kind of like that. There we go. Maybe a couple in here. And then I've got a couple of pieces of paper. And now to embellish this, I don't want to close that just yet because I know that's not secure, but I can put some flowers on here. I can, you know, put little embellishments from the paper pack if I want. I could put one of our beau paper clips in there. How cute is that? So, you know, any kind of embellishment that you want to use will work. There we go. We've got a really pretty clip attached to this. Let's put that behind it. There we go. And look at that, you guys. A folio made from a 12 by 12 pocket piece of, oops, got it turned around the other way. A 12 by 12 piece of beau Cherished Chapters paper. We have that gorgeous little medallion on the front. One of our paper snaps here that are magnetic. When you open it, you've got 2 pockets and a turning page, all made out of one piece of 12 by 12 paper. And we didn't waste a drop. Isn't that cool? So I think that means that it is time. Let me show you one quick thing real quick. So on this one, I took this little piece of metal here and I put it on the edge and I got a piece of leather cording. And all I did was I literally tied a charm, 2 little charms on the end, and I had this piece right here so that way I can wrap it around and then stick my charms underneath. And then how cute is that for a little gift? Isn't that pretty? So you could do either way. You can do a belly band, you can do paper snaps, you can glue something on there, whatever you want. It's all good in the hood. You do you, boo. Okay. So absolutely gorgeous creation tonight. I want to make sure that doesn't pop open. I hope it won't. I hope it's glued down. There we go. See? Absolutely gorgeous. One piece of double-sided Cherished Chapters paper gives you this absolutely gorgeous folio where size does matter. There we go. How gorgeous is that? One piece of 12 by 12 paper. All right. So make sure you put your beau hashtag beau live on here so that we can go ahead and do our drawing. So if you have not done that yet, please do so, because I am going to attempt, and I say attempt, to put that up here so that we can make sure. Yay! Holy cow, I did it. Jennifer, I did it. Aren't you proud of me? If anybody has any questions right now, go ahead and share them with me. So let me go on over to, I don't know if it let me draw from here. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go to this screen here. And we are going to draw. Are we ready? Okay, everybody. Let's see. Let's get that. I'm going to just put that full screen up so you guys can see that. I think. Maybe. Nope. Nope. Okay, give me one quick second. I can do this. I can. How about if we put that up? This one up full screen. Full screen layout. That's what I want to do. Thank you very much. Okay. I don't know what I just did. It's not going to let me. All right. Jen, I may need your help. I don't know what I did. I can't get it to go full screen. Maybe solo layout? I don't know. What did I do? Okay. We'll see if Jennifer can help me with that. I have no idea what I've done. Okay. I did have it up there already just a minute ago, but you know, whatever. It happens. If we can't give it away today, we'll give it away tomorrow. You know, we'll just see what happens. Everybody put your hashtag in just in case Jennifer is able to salvage this. Thank you, Jennifer. I don't know what I did. There we go. Can I click on it from there? Right here, can I click draw? No, I have to go to the other screen. Okay, got it. All right, let me get out of here and then we'll go to the giveaway tool. All right. I hope that everybody is seeing this. So let's go ahead and draw. I see 13 entries. We're going to draw and I did it. Yay, I did it. Thank you. All right, I get so excited. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and Hassan. Woohoo! All right, Anne, you're going to get one of these folios. So you may choose the one you want, and I will save it till you get here in May, unless you want me to ship it to you. All right. Thank you so much. Winner. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, everybody who is watching tonight. And let's see what kind of fun stuff. We've got the retreat coming up, you guys. You don't want to miss that. It will be at the Fairfield Inn in the UCF area. Got a special room rate for you guys. We're going to have lots of fun. Jennifer and I were planning that the other day, and it's coming together really, really nice. So congratulations, and Hassan, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. If anybody wants me to quickly go over the measurements again for this, if you came in late, I will just quickly put those back up here for you guys, and then we will say good evening. Be watching for the calendar that's coming up. Don't forget about our BYO. Of course, like and share and all the fun things, sprinkle and sparkle and whatever it is that you do to put us out there on the social media. So 12 by 12 piece of paper, 1 folio, 1/2 inch, 4.5 inches, and 8.5 inch score. Going to cut it in half before you score it. Sorry, cut it in half. Then you're going to cut 2 inches, and you're going to have a 10 by 6 piece, and you're going to score that at 7.5 and 3.5. I'll just blow up the screen, and you guys can write that down or take a picture or whatever you would like to do. So that way you guys have the measurements. And this is a fun folio. I love how quickly it came together. You can use a lot of your double-sided paper for it. So, just really easy folio to make. So let me just pull this down just a little bit so you can see. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Mwah! Take care, and we'll see you guys again soon. Twice in a week. I don't know what to do. I get to see all of my friends. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, and we'll see you later. Bye.